Happy Sunday, folks. Todd here. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. Got some turkey and dressing and all that stuff in. My sister had some jumbo shrimp with St. Elmo's cocktail sauce I killed to eat. It was awesome. Lots of things going on this weekend. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their long weekend. If you got one, and if you didn't, I'm so sorry. I guess that people out there do have to work for those that don't have to, I guess. I don't know how to say that. I just know that I enjoyed the time off. I did have to go in for a little while yesterday. But that's the nature of the beast. But yeah, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving weekend. Mine was awesome. Spent some time with a new friend, special friend that I'm sure most of you have read up about, and I'm happy to say that she's my girlfriend now. So 55 years old, and I'm starting all over. But it's a good thing. She's very nice. I really like her. Enough about that. Today's show is going to be about Mr. David Bolter and his awesome collection of what's more like the Palitoy figures for Space 1999 and some other stuff. And all that goody stuff. It's really nice figures. He customized them. I've got a couple in my collection. You guys will be pretty happy with what he does. And there's hints that he might do this as a little side job here in the near future. So if you like him, let him know during the show or whatever. He's running a little bit behind. He gave Plasma today, and he's running a little behind, and so is Gordon. Time gets away from everybody. Almost got away from me today, but here I am, and here you are. I see. So got 10 of you out there, a little more probably. While I'm waiting on those guys, I want to do a little bit of advertising for the kits we have for sale. Remember, it costs money and time to bring these things forward to you guys. So before I even sell one kit, we've already got hundreds of dollars invested in this stuff. So please don't make me eat 20 sets of these awesome Christmas ornaments. Now these are white and they're 3D printed and they're ready for paint. So anybody that wants one, just email me or message me. It's $75 for all four of these. Now, you can buy them separately if you only want the helmet or something like that, but there's only going to be about 5 of each of these available for right now on this first run. We did 20 sets. We decided we'd split up 5 sets and sell them separately if that's what happens. So 15 sets, and then the each would be $25. That's not a bad price at all. That's a little cheaper than what my stun gun and comm locks were. So, hey, get you some ornaments. Get them. They're ready to ship. They are in hand, ready to ship. Now, if you want them painted up and then shipped to you, just let me know, and I'll get with. I'll send these to David Boyer, who's doing our painting on this stuff, and he should have me a few pictures in the next few days, I'm sure, of the painted up ornaments. But they're ready to go, and they're really lightweight, so it's not like it's going to bend your Christmas tree down. So these are designed by Antonio Rigador. So he is a partner in this also. So if you buy from us, you're making him some money also. And that's what we need to do. This man can design anything. You've seen him, all of his stuff on Shapeways. Shapeways is more expensive than what we do here. So his kits through us you can get at a discount. But he's a good guy, and every sale he makes money off of these too. So there's more to just me and my partner Gordon doing this, and the people that cast and 3D print this stuff. So a lot going on behind the scenes. We've got some packaging for them, which is pretty cool. Let me show you the packaging. Let's see. Well, actually, yeah, it's let me see if I can spin this around. Well, I'll just show you a different picture. Gordon's got these all packaged up in a little, what do you call it? Ziploc bag with a little tag on it that's got the props and ships tag on it. So here you go. Got a little staple here and got the props and ships, and then it's in the bag right here. Four pieces to each set. So I think it's pretty cool. Hopefully we get rid of these 15 sets and we get to order some more. I know I have some stun gun and Comlock kits left. I just don't know what I did with them in the move. So as soon as I find them, I will let some of you guys know if you want those also. But these are the ones that we want to take care of first, because this is where we've got our money delved into. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. Let me see who's here today. Hey, Jamie. Yeah, I know. I can change those pictures, so don't worry. It's coming. You'll be in there. Yeah, St. Elmo's cocktail sauce is legendary. I'm trying to see who I've got on the show here. Let's see. Comments. How come I can never see the comments on this thing? Oh, well. If you... with that cough, I tell you, I've been sick for damn near a week with this sinuses and head cold, and it's all down in here now. So bear with me. I may even lose my voice. It's been one of those weird ones. I don't feel bad. It's just feels like I'm talking in a tunnel still a little bit. I can hear my ears are plugged. Especially this one over here, it's plugged a little bit. But Gordon usually handles the who's here and who's not here, and I can see stuff when you're on my YouTube page because I can see Jamie, and I've got I got somebody on Facebook. You just said, "Oh, congrats!" and then who did your enterprise? Mark Myers did my enterprise. It's got the round 2 light kit, and it's professionally done by Mark. I'm very happy with it. So thanks, Mark and Jamie. Jamie bringing the kit out to us, and Mark for building and lighting my enterprise up. So what else is going on out there? Obviously, I've got more than just, that kit. I'm watching 3 screens here, so I will pause here every once in a while. Let's see. I don't know why my stupid scroller won't work over here. I can't wait until I get this house closed on because I'm getting a new computer. This one is aggravating. It's not as aggravating as the last one I had because it didn't work. But this one can be annoying. So anyway, hopefully Gordon and David will be along soon. What do you guys want to talk about? My bestie Bill dropped his new 2-inch eagle and broke it. And guess who has to fix it? I'd be you, except for us. Tell me who you are, because all it says is Facebook user. 22-inch, yes. And then there's a way that you can sign up and give StreamYard your permission to use your name on your Facebook name. Oh, AJ, hey buddy. So you're gonna fix it for him, huh? Yeah, but you can sign up and give them permission to use your name in here, and we will be able to see who you are. I should be able to see you on my Facebook page, but it's not letting me do anything. Technical difficulties today. So anyway, that had to be a bummer. I would die if this thing fell. I would just completely fall down and cry. I can't handle that. That'd be terrible. I don't know if that you can see it. I'm looking in my screen, and those nacelle lights are spinning, and they are pretty badass. Sometimes I'll just sit here and turn it on and look at it for hours. He did a really good job. I bet he did. I bet he felt like, damn, I'm just going to shoot myself in the face with a bazooka. Anyway, I'll show you some of the pictures of that we're going to be talking about as soon as Mr. Bolter gets here. I'll give you a little heads up. These are the 2 of mine that he's done. What the hell? I didn't move that. What is going on with this technology these days? Good grief, people. Ha! Mr. Bolter's in here. Saved by the bell.
Hello, enthusiasts.
Howdy, Mr. Bolter. Welcome, Mr. Bolter.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful.
I was just showing some of your stuff as we were waiting for your arrival.
Todd, you're looking quite spiffy today.
I'm quite happy these days. I was explaining.
And why shouldn't you be? That's fantastic.
I was just explaining to them earlier that I had a girlfriend at this point in time, and never in 4 weeks from today past, I was the leader of the He-Man Woman Haters Club. So what can you do?
And I was dutiful in reminding you that men of our nature will not stay on the market long.
Exactly.
I'll leave it at that.
Gordon.
Hey, guys.
Hey, who invited
Howdy.
you? Oh, that's Todd. Okay. Hey, Gordon.
What's up, dudes? Welcome.
Good to see you, Dave.
Good to see you as well, sir. I'll switch myself around. There we are.
I've got
Gordon,
Jamie
I
Hood
trust you're
that I
doing
know
well
of,
today.
and AJ Catalano. AJ's here with us.
Welcome.
I'm not sure what kind of group we're going to have today. It's still Thanksgiving weekend. People are probably still out running around.
Probably travel.
Todd, that's why you invited me, because I'm going to wake us up out of that post-turkey nausea.
Exactly.
Get rid of all the apple pie and the cherry cobbler off our systems and get us back into shape and to talking about all things sci-fi.
Exactly. Let me tell you, I am extremely happy that I'm done with all the turkey and dressing. I had Mexican for lunch today with my kids. We were like, we're going somewhere. So,
well, I'm just glad this broadcast isn't scratch and sniff. I think we'll be fine.
No, not yet.
There you
probably
go.
Later tonight. I got the fire going in my wood burning stove, so that probably wouldn't be a good thing.
Excellent. Gordon, how was yours? Talk to me.
Well, funny you should ask. No, things were good, man. My folks came up and we had a wonderful time. It was the first time they were able to come up in over 2 years now. Mom's doing a whole lot better, and I got to take her shopping and stuff, and didn't have too much problems going over to the Quantico Marine Corps Exchange, as well as the Tyson's Corner Mall. We waited till after the mad rush of the early morning and everything, but she had a really good time. Rolled her around and everything, and we managed to find some pretty good deals and had some pretty good eating. My wife had put out a full spread, so it was actually really, really awesome with a little bit of help with my daughter. So yeah. Filled with blessings over here. Very thankful, very, very happy. Nothing to complain about when it comes to anything real.
Well, the full spread always sounds good. On behalf of Todd and I hope our girlfriends have the same thing. Ouch. Sorry, didn't say that. Anyway, next topic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we did bring you here today for some really cool stuff. And most of these, if I'm correct, are the Palitoy type stuff, right? Palitoy, Amigo. Okay, so explain.
Let me share a little bit of the impetus of what I wanted to do. And again, thank you for everyone watching this today. What I wanted to do a couple years ago was I was like most people, I saw the TV line, and I was jubilant that there was some interest in the line. However, like most lines, they just don't quite get there. It's like they could have done this, and they could have had a better head sculpt for that. And I don't know why the different sized heads. I mean, obviously they were trying to emulate or recast the original Palitoy heads, obviously for the original figures in the 70s. But obviously with the larger heads, it made it look a little wonky. And folks like Gordon and Todd and I know the word kit bashing. Kit bashing is essentially a term used in modeling where you kind of put a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you make new things. And so basically you're allowed to kind of take some of the existing materials and do new things. Well, what I wanted to do was, my original premises of this, if I can explain briefly, was to do a what if, say back in the early 70s. If you recall, Mego had really taken off with the Star Trek and the Planet of the Apes licensing. And some of you out there, like the Rob Woods and stuff, will probably know far more about this than I. But the Mego company, at the time in the early 70s, only had Action Jackson. And they actually bought the Trek license for only about $2,000. $2,000, that's it. Because obviously that was before it rose in prominence with the conventions and the swell of being a trucker and all that kind of stuff. But it was basically a dead license. So they were doing great stuff with Planet of the Apes. They shifted to Trek, and they did that, and they were quite good. Now, I don't know. I think Gordon will probably know more than I about the mechanics of the licensing overseas. And I'll talk about the whole Mattel bit in a little bit in terms of what they, grabbed onto when 1999 was probably looking for merchandisers and stuff. But what I wanted to do with the 1999 line was I wanted to kind of emulate what they did with the Trek cards back then. I've got a few ideas here, much like, as you can see, these designs were done by Ian in England. Gordon, give me his last name.
Ian Nelms.
Nelms, thank you. Whatever.
Yep.
And he started showing these, and he was kind of, it's like most things in life where you kind of ride the crest, you get the interest, and then interest dies down. Well, his interest was dying down in the figures. I know he had done for some of the European or some of the UK conventions. He was making these little tabletop pieces with all these nice little custom scenes from the first year show, or perhaps the second year. And he had really come across all these nice graphics. And to me, that really made things pop. And what I liked about it is that for very little customizing, because I can't sew. So for all you people out there wondering if I can sew, I can't. I have a wonderful seamstress who works with the theater. But what I was able to do was I was able to take a Planet of the Apes astronaut coveralls, vintage stuff, because I loved the color on the coat. And I just took the coveralls and I cut the legs off, so to speak. So just using a little bit of double-sided tape, I just curved up the seams at the bottom, and I used the excess leg material to make the matching belt. So it was all very easy to do if you put things together like that. And that's really where things started. And then like a Dave Riley, I just ended up taking one of those Action Jackson coats, the safari coats, getting a couple of cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, and, to use a technical term, whiz bang, everything worked out great. But what I wanted to do is I was starting to crest up on those notions, and he had his backing cards, and it just kind of was a nice little marriage there, because I needed something to pop, because as you can, like the CBTV cards were not that spectacular. They didn't put any time or effort into it. So we were able to take a lot of those two notions with the new figures and that. But what I wanted to do with these figures, I'll blather around here for a little bit, was if you notice, like I wanted to kind of marry them into the old 70s thing, where both my Conan coat, which I don't seem to have right now, I may have to make a new one, and I'll talk about that later, and the Helen Russell cat, they all have the vintage zippers. So, I mean, obviously, if you go to any fabric store, you can get, like, for wedding outfits, you can get the little micro zippers, but they didn't have that back then. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to introduce a little bit of more the vintage, so it'll look perfectly. Thank you, Gordon. He's got his. It will look side by side next to the Mego Trek figures. I wanted them to have a nice little, it's like you would have walked into a Kmart in 1977, and you would have seen, oh, yes, there's my other prize. No. No spoilers. Let me get to that.
I was showing off the zipper, sorry.
I'll shut up in a minute. But basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of marry the old vintage zippers, the big toothy ones, with just a little bit more detail than what you would have seen. So it was just trying a combination of the both. My premise was, if ITC had gone into the second year and actually had another thrust into the toy line, what would it have looked like for the second year? Now, like I said, I'm not quite sure of all the things with Mattel grabbing the license of the figures we did receive, the 9-inch figures, because, and Gordon can talk to that probably in a minute. The thing that I found odd was that when they got done with the whole crest of the figures selling in America, I think they boxed up most of them that went to Europe, and then as an added incentive, they added that Alien. But I think, Gord, I'll shut up for a second. You can yap a little bit about that.
As far as I know, the Zython was only sold in the German market, I think 333 of them, I guess, in some sort of contest. One just, I think it was Corey Lachat said, just went for $3,000 carded. The only one that I know of in existence that's still carded now. Martin Wiley of the Catacombs, he actually has the card, the figure, and the bubble, but I don't think it's still attached. But still, it's the rarest one, although it's probably the least desirable. But there are some folks out there that really want it because of the rarity and because it's a Mattel item, and the rarity crossover is just amazing.
Well, what I find interesting is that I would consider it kind of a tertiary item where it wasn't had any relation to the show. Obviously, the head was taken from a mold of a Big Jim character. Or did the Big Jim character come after that?
Not Todd. I think the not Todd in the Mexican market came afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they utilized the same really disappointing body articulation of the 9-inch Mattels, which were a very common item back then. They used them for the Welcome Back Cotter line and a lot of the other smaller, cheaper television tie-ins per se. So Mattel obviously was seeing a lot of the interest the Mego had with the Trek and Planet of the Apes. So they said, well, hey, the next big license to come out, let's hang on to it. So I think that was really Mattel's first foray into the action figure line, but I'm probably mistaken. I'm not sure. So what I want to do, like I said, is that I wanted to see if there was another push for Mego to actually have that license. What would it have looked like, here in the States? And then I also wanted to go a little bit further. I didn't really get too far, but Ian also blessed me with some other ideas of some episodes, which actually Gordon will probably work off a little bit. I'm trying to get away from the light here a little bit, where this was a Death's Other Dominion line, and I was able to showcase my Victor Bergman.
Yeah, that's a pretty awesome one there.
And what I wanted to do, my original idea with that is I saw the Mattel figures, and I thought they're doable if you can layer them with some clothing, like maybe add a second-year coat or something. But the 9-inch market's kind of hard to buy for, because usually everything is either 1/9, which is 8-inch, or 1/6, which is 12-inch. Most of the clothes, Barbie, what have you. It's really hard to find a lot of kit bashing potential for the 9-inch. And I really wanted that type of suit for the Mattel figures, because the Mattel figures, while they weren't articulated, I thought the head sculpts were fairly good. The Victor Bergman was definitely far better than the CBTV one. But that was another thing that Gordon was able to give me a great idea about, was to go ahead and use the Carlton magazine styles. There he goes. The Carlton magazine styles, and integrate that into the 8-inch characters. Because for the American line, that's the more softer look that they went with, as opposed to the white in the Palitoy. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Look at that.
Absolutely.
Thanks to you, Dave. You've made this possible for me.
I was a cog in the wheel. Let's just leave it at that. They're beautiful.
So absolutely. So Nick McCarty, shout out to Nick McCarty for making the background graphics. I just made 11x14 print over at, from Snapfish. Get it printed over at CVS Pharmacy or Walgreens or whatever.
Fantastic.
Get the 2-pack from CVTV or ClassicTVToys.com. You can actually get the clams. And we did the Dave, you did the extraordinary work of taking a number of Koenig uniforms from the Mattel line and scraping scraping together the material for Helena to at least get the Carlton magazine #2. If you want to, hey Todd, if you want to make my picture bigger, ultimately, you could put together everything together. Oh, also, originally I used the Mattel head for the Helena figure, but do you have a backstory on this Helena head, Dave?
Why, yes, I do, Gordon. Why is your head so big?
On it.
Oh, wait, actually, was that the... Oh, that's right. You have the painted one. Okay. Actually, yes. I stand corrected. No, that was the one that was done by a Dave MC during the 2000s, like 2001 to 2010. I think he was making a lot of heads, like for Bergman. Basically, I'm not quite sure what he was doing. He was either shrinking the Mattel heads and then casting them, because you can use some special chemical or something to actually shrink the plastic.
Right.
And I think he was sculpting and painting, and I only got a Victor Bergman head. In fact, that's the one that I've got, which, I just showed you a little while ago, the painted head.
Gotcha.
But he was able to do that. And otherwise, the most famous question is, how come Helena's head is so big?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's that big at all. I mean, if you look at right next to the CBTV customs, like Victor and Sandra, they're the same size.
Sandra's head's pretty big, too.
So
And it's on the 8-inch body.
yes, and the problem you get into with the Helena figure is that you run into what they call the neck post, because there's figures that are made both either a male neck post with a female head fits into it with the female port, or you have vice versa. So sometimes it's difficult to marry up the two if they both are female.
Right.
So that little neck ring on the spacesuit hides a lot of sins, shall we say.
Nice.
But they're for presentation, they're for display, obviously not for
play or anything. Yeah.
exactly. So I believe they turned out quite well.
So I'm very proud of this one too. Very good idea from you originally, and then I added on Alan Carter because the Alan Carter was the first of the line, and then I found these 4-pack clams also from Classic TV Toys. If you ever wanted to put together your own thing, and another shout out to Nick McCarty for the graphics. He
Beautiful.
put the graphics together. Printed out the 11x14 once again. Just do a snapfish. Go over to CVS Pharmacy or whatever, $10. You know, you just have this thing printed up, put it on the back side of the clam, and voila, you have yourself a carded 4-pack. Now the story behind the 4-pack though is basically you take the reissue Alan Carter from CTVT and turn that into the spacesuit, because basically the spacesuit picture from Charlton, was it Charlton? Yeah, I'm sorry, Charlton magazine, the comic magazine number 3, is very red. So, you know, we wanted to kind of incorporate the red look instead of the orange look that CTVT was making, Classic TV Toys. And then bless David's heart for putting together a 3D printed laser rifle for Koenig, which is basically depicted also in the cover. And, you know, just he also gave me some pretty good ideas of making each one of the chest pack numbers all different, since they're all number 1s from the CTVT line. Which, by the way, you could actually still part together an Alan Carter, a full Alan Carter spacesuit character all together for less than $40.
Absolutely. This is the one that Nick was able to sign at the 2019 one.
Yeah, that is awesome. And that's an original Palitoy, by the way.
Yeah. They turned out really well.
Love it.
Hey, let's tell the story in that Maya.
The what?
The Maya figure.
Oh. Well, I mean, it depends on which Maya figure you're talking about, because would you believe that right after I bought yours, oh, here it is, I ended up getting me an actual Maya figure.
Oh, you did? Oh, cool.
Yeah,
no,
there
I was talking about the one that
a really good deal
custom
going on, and it's like, okay. But it doesn't compare to your Maya figure at all.
Well, I wasn't the biggest fan of Maya. I love Catherine Schell. I love her nice, beautiful sense of humor, but I like the more subtle aspects of her acting and her style more than the monster a week, you know, type thing. So
Right.
I wasn't a big fan of the actual character in the show, but there was somebody in France who did a beautiful, I don't know if it was an original prototype head sculpt of that character, but it had a lot more makeup to it on the face, and it just looked a bit better. Thank you, Gordon. And I thought, you know, I would love to do something with that. And I always loved her in that coat. So again, I have to blame my seamstress for doing such a fantastic job. But what I was really interested about, especially with the Helena Russell and the Maya and the Koenig, was it's not just getting a jacket, but you also want to match the style, the fabric that was in the original to make it really sparkle to me. It was that another 20% of effort to really make it, you know, look authentic and cool to have. I mean, growing up, we had the people like maybe more like Todd, where they were more into the spaceships and the modeling. And there's the folks like me who did the spaceships and modeling, but also liked action figures. So there's like two different groups that, you know, kind of delve that way. So again, my humble thanks for allowing to put a little time in on today's show. But it was wonderful for me to show my stuff. What was it, 2019? Yeah, to show my stuff alongside you experts in the modeling field.
Yep. Yeah, it was Breakaway 2019.
I had the Mego stuff and especially Star Trek. I had the whole Enterprise set, and yeah. it was interesting. But these are these are much more fun as a grown up to do.
Well, the thing that turns me on about the Palitoys probably more so is that they were UK only. They're extremely rare, and they're 10 times better looking than the Mattels. But it's a shame, though, that Bergman and Russell weren't included in that particular lineup. Perhaps Mattel had the license for that, and that's why they called Koenig Captain Koenig versus Commander Koenig.
Well,
it could have been a mistake too, so who knows?
I believe at Martin's site, I think he made reference to, unless I'm thinking of another source, but I think it's on Catacombs site that the basic idea back then was to have the more marketing towards the actual rough and tumble,
the boys,
macho figures.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Mattel had the upper hand with doing the three, primaries because of obviously the code tied into the Charlton comics with all the promo and all the puzzles and everything with the image of all three. So it would stand to reason that you would have all three. So why they went that different direction in Europe was interesting. And like I said, Palitoy made G.I. Joes. They made everything. They made Star Wars. They did everything overseas. So they're like a parent company that would take molds and take licenses and slap their little name on it. Because they, like I said, they took over the Hasbro line over in Europe for G.I. Joe and everything else. That was all Palitoy. So it's almost like a parental company that would do that. So it's still interesting that they didn't go with the primaries. But like I said, what I thought was funny was once the primaries stopped selling here and being in the little dollar bin, they wanted to clear out the inventory for whatever was coming, maybe Star Wars. I don't know. Well, Star Wars was a surprise, maybe not that. But they wanted to clear the inventory, so ship them all over to Europe. And then, like I said, for add a little incentive, let's add a little Alien to the mix.
Well, not only that, they produced so many of the Koenig, Russell, and Bergmans that the extra inventory to entice the folks. Well, originally they sold everything separately. Remember, they put out 2 different variants of the all-inclusive Moonbase Alpha,
right, with or without figures
included, and they had 2 different variants of the sticker for that as well. And as a matter of fact, they called it the DE, and then capital Lux set in the print of the box.
Deluxe.
So that was kind of funny. The Deluxe set.
The Deluxe.
Well, I must say, I've made about a good dozen Koenigs, dozen Helenas, so I thank everyone for their interest. Some people have asked me, yes, Francine, some folks have asked me about, and Diane, about making more figures. I'm just going through traversing some little shifts in life right now, but I think I might be able to, in a limited way, I may, grind up the sausage making this next year and maybe take a few out. I don't know how many more I was going to do. Again, I was going to be a little bit more adventurous with the Death's Other Dominion line, but
I love that.
I'm not sure.
I would love to make a 4-pack of that.
Yeah, because they turned out really well. The boots and everything else, and like I said, I had the patches in there and stuff. Sorry, trying to get out of the light here.
I do like that one.
Yeah.
Well, if you decide you want to, have money more than the figures, you know who to call.
Because Gordon doesn't build, he buys.
Gordon's my little ATM. I love him.
Actually, that's not true. I've been playing around with messing
Yeah,
around with projects and stuff like that. These probably more so than building kits and stuff like that. I'm pretty proud of some of these that you've created. Some of these are just amazing. The material that you found for the green jackets for year 2, spot on, man. Spot on. Love it.
I couldn't find a material that was closer, and if I could let you all in on some little behind-the-scenes secrets, one of the things, like with the Death's Other Dominion material and that material, folks, I'd like to tell tales of going to Taiwan and scoping out exotic materials, but I will assure you, 2 to 3 blocks down the road is a Goodwill. And for some of you who may not be familiar with what that is, it's like basically it's chains of stores that give like, regurgitated, clothes and stuff, for people, who are a little hard up and can't buy the latest, greatest fashions. It's like a charity store per se. And so you've got this creepy guy who looks like me going around these stores into the swimsuit areas of little girls trying to find the right colors of these fabrics. And I feel very weird doing it, but that's where the colors are. That's where the materials are. So like you held up that Maya, I think that Maya was that came from some female tennis shirt action wear because I wanted to get the fabric right. And like I said, things like that. And the Victor Berg, the Death Other Dominion, all those blue clothes, those were all from a sleeping bag that only cost me a whopping $7.
Oh, really?
So I've got tons of the material because it's from a sleeping bag, but it was that right shade of blue. It's the right nylon material. So it's essentially pennies on the dollar. So like I said, I'd like to weave some exotic tales about where I find the materials, but sorry, you've seen behind the curtain now.
So the one thing that I also like about your thought process, Dave, is that we mess with Mego bodies instead of the CTVT bodies because, quite frankly, that plastic is just the most atrocious stuff there ever was. And if you can actually use the head and the uniforms and the other accessories that come with it, throw it on a Mego body, I mean, you got yourself a really good quality figure after that, right? Well, and then ultimately you could actually, the sky's the limit when it comes to combinations and ideas of how you want to do stuff. I mean, for instance, some of the projects that I want to create, you get the Paul and you get the Sandra, and one of these days I'll get me a Sandra Year One type outfit and put that together in a 2-pack and make a Last Sunset special edition, or maybe 2 astronauts or whatever. I mean, the Tony Maya pair or whatever you want. The sky's the limit when it comes to the ideas.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. We got Francine out there, Goldstein.
Uh-oh.
She's there. She's like, on to you now.
Uh-oh.
She's like, she'd like to get one of those Death Other Dominion outfits.
I know. Gordon hit a really good point about the figures, because I know the CVTVs were very cheaply done. Like I said, I told people just get an old Star Trek figure, and like I said, all I did was spray paint the boots, and voila. I mean, they may be a little wonky, but they take the test of time in terms of longevity and use and versatility and stuff. Much better than the figures. There you go. There he is.
Oh, I've got a Spock, my buddy Spock. I'm like, what's his name in crap, that show that they finished up the seasons on it. David's the best, absolutely the best. That's what Franny said.
Well, too charitable, but thank you.
Well, the funny thing is, I also got a crap ton of projects happening in the future, and then who knows what I'll be able to do with all of these extra figures. And thank you, Diana Ruth, for hooking me up with accessories. Oh, those are cool too.
I've still got these. I just there was a guy who was doing some 3D stuff. I said, hey, can you just make something like this? And he said, sure. It wasn't an exact prop from the series, but it was because they used those old, what was it, the movie reel boxes, I believe.
Yeah.
Koenig had
I've got one of them.
Breakaway similar to that, didn't he?
Something very similar. I think it was more narrower, but I wanted to kind of combine the two. I mean, it's an elfin style, but I was basically not doing a 1-for-1 with a particular asset, but it looks elfin enough per se, and especially with the handles.
And then this is another one of my favorites from you, Dave, is the Mattel variant of a CTVT Mego Bergman.
It's just obnoxiously funny, but it's really kind of cool. I mean,
it's almost a shame CTVT doesn't make a 3-pack clamshell or a 5-pack for that matter, because there's a number of ensembles that a 3-pack would be perfect, or a 5-pack. 2 and 4 is good though. I mean, it is what it is. Here's another one that I'm very proud of. Taking the very rare Alan Carter coat from that TJ Toys special edition, and putting Bill Frazier in it like he's supposed to be, and turning that into a regular figure.
One of the things I like to sneak in was I like to do little in-jokes, because both you gentlemen and most of our audience are aware of the peg warmers, the tertiary items that came out in the 70s, like the Dinkies. Well, they're not really tertiary, but the graphics on the cards were always kind of funny because they would be a little lazy. They would marry up first year and second year images of Koenig and Russell, and just to slap on the cardboard and sell the toy. And I thought that, well, okay, that's kind of phoning it in, but that was the 70s. That's the time that's all you can file that away, and that's all we had back then. So what I tried to do, I did the same thing with the Dave Riley. I think Gordon, I believe you have my Dave Riley figure now.
I do.
You were able to pay handsomely for it.
Bam!
I put look at that. Not even a backward.
Let me bring that up front. That's nice.
I am very proud of this one.
The funny thing is the graphics on the side where I put David's face next to Barry Morse, and it's like, I mean, to me, it's kind of tongue in cheek, where any true fan would probably be aghast with the acting styles of both of those figures together.
Well, even Koenig's picture is a year one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried to mimic that as well, and I thought people's gag reflexes would flare up dramatically if they put Dave Riley next to Victor Bergman. I thought, why not?
So true.
Funny.
So true.
So I just tried to kind of emulate that as well. But anyways, I think that's really all I've got to say about most of it, unless there's any questions, Todd.
Oh, I'm sure. I've got some pictures I wanted to show everybody anyway.
Yeah,
When you brought some of those, I guess it was when you were first started doing these, it was 2019. We had the convention. You brought some with you, and we had some really nice guests there that you actually got some autographs from.
Yes.
Barbara.
That is amazing.
So yeah, so that's a heck of a picture there, man.
Yes, it is.
I couldn't decide which one to give her, so heat of the moment, I just said give them to your grandchildren, because she's lived it, been it.
Right.
What would she do with that on her mantle? So I thought, give it to your grandchildren. Say it's hearkening back to the 70s and what you did and everything, and maybe they'd like it of their mom or grandma.
Fan love right there.
Yeah, and you were graciously enough to give me one of the cards so I could get her to sign my card. So I was so happy that you did that for me.
And then you can get the figure. Yeah, bring up the picture of her looking at it. That to me was the most great
picture. Yeah, I've got that
reward.
one too. Here we go.
I can't think of any finer reward than to have the subject matter peer closely at the details.
Oh yeah, she was looking at it all right.
That's the money shot.
Yeah. And Rosie Badgett right next to her.
Yes.
God love her.
Bless Rosie. She's fantastic.
Yeah, that has to be. There's a picture of her in front of the Props and Ships banner that we had and I just thought that was the best,
isn't it?
Photo I could have got of her.
Exactly.
Probably even better than me standing with her, but she was, walking around in our, model room and just talking about this and talking about that. And I just grabbed that picture real quick.
Good. She was so gracious.
She was. But that's definitely the money shot there. And then I don't know why my computer starts randomly showing pictures that I didn't click on, but damn it. You had this one here.
We'll look away, Todd. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
Yeah, right. It just aggravates a little bit.
Love.
And then we have
this isn't
guy.
keep it safe. Oh yeah, that was good. I had trouble with him because I drew a mustache on the face. It was a SWAT figure, and it just, if I could share a secret, to me it looked too much like Cleveland from the Cleveland Show.
Oh wow.
I couldn't do any better. So I will admit I was a tad embarrassed about that one. But the three of them were getting together, and I wanted to get it out before Christmas to Suzanne.
Mm-hmm.
She was meeting with the three of them, Prentice, Anton. Oh, I guess just Prentice, Anton, and her. I don't think she was meeting with the gentleman who played Kano.
Oh, Clifton Jones.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was Clifton. Wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I was going to say Ted, but no, that's Ted Clifton. That's a different character. Anyways, but so I wanted to rush that to her for Christmas, and one of the nice compliments I got was Prentice said he put his. It's just a gracious thing he said privately. He said he put his on top of his Christmas tree.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That one. So I was quite moved because he was supposed to be a guest at 2019, and I really wanted to get his autograph on one, but unfortunately, him and
There goes again.
Nice one.
or Suzette had to cancel.
Hey, that's a nice one too.
Those are good.
I'm just trying. It's just doing what it wants to do, apparently. And then we got Suzanne, which I didn't even know you did one to her. That's pretty darn cool.
She was very gracious about it. I just took I think a Kelly head. Yes, Gordon's got one. A Kelly head from the Charlie's Angels.
Oh, okay.
It's just got the same hair and same eyes. So, and I gave her a medical.
Medical uniform is awesome. Because that wasn't even made in CTVT line.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So it turned out very well. I was very pleased with that.
Suzanne is such a pretty lady too, and even prettier personality.
Yeah, I could joke with her because I think she was having the hip issues or something. She just had surgery before 2019, and I was telling Prentice, I mean, if she comes, I'll give her, piggyback rides or something, So, to relieve her of any systemic pain from the operation.
Yikes.
Right.
Hey.
Is what it is.
Nate McCarty says, I wonder if Martin Landau and Barbara Bain collected a few toys from the series. Yes, they did. I know they did.
Actually, they did. Yes.
You can see them during some of those auctions.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Martin was a toy whore. I mean, he had everything from the series. He had all the merchandising. It was incredible. I mean, Rob and everybody else who purchased his estate would clearly attest to that.
Yeah, he loves supporting
everything, like second things. I mean, he bought in bulk. He just loved it, and I was very appreciative.
Yep.
Yeah, I like this one too. That's a nice figure.
Oh, yeah. Blame Gordon for that one.
Blame Gordon.
So actually, the story is I had I forget who I got that from. I think his name is Joe. He had sent me a silver. Basically a silver spacesuit, just like
I said, I want that picture.
And I was talking to David. What can we do with it? And then we really hashed out some really interesting details. Do we want to go Brian the Brain version, or do we want to go immunity syndrome? Not immunity. What is it? Seance Spectre version. And I said, let me look at them, and then I did, and ultimately I kind of like the all silver look with the anti-radiation suit look. So that's basically the direction we ended up going. So he went wild with the silver spray paint on the boots and everything.
And the ring. Well, I was go with a more shinier uniform, a spacesuit. And Gordon, you made the right choice in scaling back the shininess, because I was going to do because they had the little firefighter.
Yeah,
with silver, and you were right. That turned out much better than I would have originally cast it as. And like I said, all it is just like you said, whipping out the spray paint and just painting everything up, and there you go. It's not that difficult.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's one of my favorite figures of all the collection that I have, and of course, all of my Koenig heads are original. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with this one. I wonder if there's a way we can actually get what's his name who overacted in that episode. It could do a 2-pack or something like that, and we can, have a good representation of Sand Spectre. But I'm very happy. Probably more happier with this one than most of the other ones that I got. This was a true original right here.
Well, and you hit on another thing that's unfortunately a limit of my business is that, or hobby, is that I'm basically down to what material I can get. So like I said, you contributed that one. I would have to hunt that down on eBay and find out somewhere or whatever. So, but if there's delays in me getting stuff done, if I'm not busy with work, it's busy just grabbing the right material.
Well, the cool thing also is that your seamstress didn't have to go off the deep end with all of the stitching as well.
Right.
There's like crap ton of stitching, and there's a red one, a silver one, and now the original orange one here. And that's a lot of stitching to deal with. So, oh, by the way, just to let everybody know that this is what I was referring to. You can actually get the plain faced head, is what they call it on CTVT, Classic TV Toys website. You could actually get the whole ensemble, probably less than $40. And
I did that. You told me about it, Gordon. I've got the whole set. It was less than $40.
And then Dave, you have a special way of changing out the heads. I think that are it's rather important because, quite frankly, it makes life a lot easier of how to change out the heads on these figures.
I do have a special way, yes. And another thing that I'm going to give a little bit of a tease for all the people who have sat through us rambling back and forth.
Those guys and their damn dolls.
I'm going to give you the finger. Well, I'll give you 2 fingers. I got this coat here. This is a 6-inch, a 12-inch coat. I don't know. I don't know if it's a Barbie or Ken thing or whatever, but it's very nice, very padded. And I got to cut the collar down. I showed this to Gordon. This is going to make the excellent Alan Carter jacket.
Or it could be a Bergman jacket from Dragon's Domain.
Yeah. It comes with these little symbols, which all I have to do is just slap a patch over it and bada bing. So I got to work on that a little bit. That's some of her handiwork. Sometimes she has to create things where I charge her more, like Death's Other Dominion, where it's a wholly separate new style out of rough material. Things like that are better for her because all she has to do is cut this down, cut that down, taper it, and boom, you're ready for
that is beautiful
8-inch figure. So I don't pay her quite as much for that. Yeah,
I like the Nick Tate stuff too, and he likes it too. He was like, "Man, I can't believe all this stuff. They should have done this years ago."
Hey, we got the prototypes to bring up to Mego now because Mego's a big thing.
Oh, there's a good one. She's looking at both of them. You stupid computer.
I talked with Paul Clark a little bit, and obviously anybody who knows he's the Dr. Mego guy. Obviously, eons above him is the whole licensing thing, but he was at that convention in 2019 and he took a lot of good interest. In fact, he was going to steal my seamstress because he does a lot of prototypes and he needed a backup seamstress. And I said, hey, she's trying to make ends meet. She likes to eat too. So yeah.
You and Nikki.
Once in a while.
Hey, it's you and Nikki.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Very
that
cool pictures.
Early green coat, I wasn't happy with it, but it was before I found the actual good material. But those camera shots and the lighting on the set, it was very hard to pin that color down. And Gordon, you can recall that, I think.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Bergman.
That is an awesome Bergman too, by the way.
It is. Well, just a dicky for a turtleneck. That's all it is. I did have a viewer. I won't say his name, but it was kind of oddly annoying because he kept telling me about the pulls, and he kept telling me they looked that they would be used for something, and it's like I just said those are just the pulls that came with the zippers. I can't help that. I mean, I cut them off, obviously, but he kept telling me they were like, it's like, okay, dude, thanks.
Thanks. Yeah. Appreciate the info.
I wanted to put some zippers on these as well. I was going to use those little white miniature zippers, not the toothy ones like I talked about earlier, but just for these, I was going to make some because some of them, sometimes you see them zippered a little bit and, you know, when they're walking around. So I may look at that this next year as well. And
yeah, these are.
So yeah, Dave, you know, either I'll buy them for you, or you can invest in the I guess the figure inserts that you can put inside the clams to hold them in place. They really are amazing.
Well, with all due respect, Gordon, I think I'm investing into the Gordon Maraguchi library or museum of all things 1999-ish. So I think that's really where my investment is, you know, best spent. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you want from me?
There you go.
Looks like we got David Sisson watching, Charles Gordon, and Randy Newbert. Thanks for watching, guys.
Oh.
Sorry about my problems here.
I'll put a shout out to Charles. Wasn't his creations with the coats, aren't they just phenomenal?
Phenomenal. And he's just moved to Georgia now, and he's got a bigger area to do his stuff. So look out, people.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely.
Maya's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, to all you people that do the work out there, my hat's off to you. I wish I could do what you do. So offering a minor contribution like this, you know, hopefully I can sit with the cool kids, you know.
Now that spacesuit on Helena, she's rocking it.
Yeah, she is. And like I said,
not big and bulky like the normal ones are. She's got it right up, nice and tight, looking good.
Yeah, because I used a male figure on her because obviously I want to make sure the hands were, because if you use the female hands of a Mego, those gauntlets will just fall right off.
Right.
Because the hands are too narrow. Let me excuse myself to show another figure here. Hold on.
Man. Yeah, that one is a really awesome New Year 2 tunic for the Alan Carter figure.
All right, this is getting old.
Oh yeah, you showed my action figures here. Oh yeah, cool. The Galactica ones.
Yeah, I'm getting to that next. I wanted to show this one and go to the next one when you were here, so we could get you to explain a little bit. Oh,
nice.
Oh,
that's how much detail I wanted to get on the Alan Carter. I mean, my seamstress did those seams. I thought they were fantastic. And if you get the camera back to me, for those of you that like the first Star Trek movie, there's not a lot of people who do, but I always like the short sleeve shirt, the Kirk shirt. I kept the guy from the
excuse me,
his face up there, but this is one of the things my seamstress did, you know, quite well, quite nice. They fit right alongside the other Mego. But she also, I made sure she incorporated the seams in here.
Oh yeah,
where they come down, because I wanted them to match exactly what the shirt was. You know, just take it just a step better. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, you're there, you're sewing it. Let's just add this. Let's add that. You know. And
I think the only problem that I have with that one is you have a Star Trek II, the Wrath of Khan phaser with that one. What's up with that? I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you, man.
He has no idea, does he?
I'm just playing along. I'm just.
I'm not.
Okay, so.
Oh, Captain Terrell. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, it took a bit. Sorry, I just donated plasma, so I'm very lightheaded right now.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
oh boy,
those are sweet.
Those are pretty quick. Those are. Look at, and it looks like you were actually in that photo shoot for the box art.
You mean you don't have your own action figures?
No.
What?
I should really do one.
You need to. No, that same guy that another guy by the name of Martin, actually, in England, who was doing the graphics for the 1999 cards, he was doing those. And I thought, well, that looks like an exclusive you're not going to see in San Diego. How about a Colonel Bolter one? Right. That's the only cosplay I do. I do a Galactica one. My soon-to-be former took the pictures of me out across the street from my house in snow. Nice. And that's the only I mean, I've got the regular Galactica jacket, but I had the nice Arctic one from that one episode. And I've actually got the watch that Richard Hatch wore in that episode of Battlestar Galactica, but that's a story for another line. But anyways, I thought, well, that's cool. So he made some figures of me in the regular Colonial Warrior jacket. And then I thought, well, let's get funny. Let's make some of this because it looks nice. So I just had to make like a dozen. I gave them out to nieces and nephews at Christmas and stuff. I thought it was kind of a, cool thing. Autographs were extra, but
No, it's very awesome.
But they were indeed exclusives. You're not going to find at Comic-Con. I'll leave it at that. That's cool. It's just another side of whimsy. That's all it is.
Yeah, I just thought that was pretty neat.
You're too kind.
And then this one I really like, and I know Gordon has a similar, or is this Gordon? No, this is yours.
That is mine.
That's Gordon's.
That is freaking awesome.
Isn't that? The graphics are just incredible how he had that made. I mean, the quality of it.
Yeah, shout out to Nick McCarty, man. He's the man. He put that whole ensemble together based on what I was looking for, and I provided him the graphics, but he basically put the compo together for me. And at a high definition to where I can get a good 11 by 14 print from it. So thank you, Nick, once again.
Yeah, beautiful.
I'm gonna have to copy.
Please.
When I first got the first ones, I was like, I'm just gonna stick to these three. I wanted a Nick Tate one. I don't have that one yet, but I've got the Commander Koenig and the Helena one.
Yeah, that's before I replaced the Helena head there.
Yeah, this one now I've got a. Good grief. Now I'm thinking, well, here I go again, getting into some more goodies.
I mean, that's the magic of what we do because, like I said, I was given the incentive from Ian with his graphics.
Ian Nelms?
Yes.
Yes, he's pretty good too.
Well, see, that was the thing. I mean, he was very conscious at first.
Well, he was the forerunner. He was the forerunner of doing all of those customs for some 2005 convention back Fanderson.
Glad we give him a shout out because he deserves that.
Yeah, and he was. Absolutely. I think he was concerned I was going to steal his graphics, or I said, no, I'll even put your name on the smallest type in the front. I don't care. I just think they're beautiful, and I want to showcase them. That's it, if you allow me to. So I showed him a few things, tweaks I made and stuff, and he seemed quite pleased with them. But that was the thing where it started with that to my figures, to going further with my figures, then Gordon taking it one step higher. So that's really all it is.
Love it. Hopefully we can. I don't know, maybe show these prototypes to the real folks over at Mego, and maybe we can get some interest going on. Who knows?
This is one of my favorites right here.
I think it'll turn out well.
I'm thinking you're going to have to replace Paul with Alan, though, if you get another Alan doll.
Oh, yeah. No, I just used, in fact, that was a CBTV head of Paul. I just wanted to throw it up there because I had run out of Alans to model. So I thought, well, just put another head on there and just, And like I said, that Victor Bergman was the one that was painted by that David MC in the 2000s.
Yeah, that Victor head's amazing. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, Helena's there. I don't think it looks so bad. Mattel head. I think she looks just fine. And again, turtlenecks.
Yeah. So just as long as you have that.
they always hide a multitude of sins.
Yeah.
Well, that's what was difficult about the year one. What I did for you, Gordon, was the year one, the Charlton or the other uniforms for Helena was that they had, and the cast agreed, they had a very harsh neckline. So any use of, like I said, neck covering was good. So.
Well, I'm not done yet. I got some of my ideas is to utilize aliens. I want to use perhaps a Koenig with a Ron for the missing link. There's a good 2-pack that can be done for that. I might have to go through some of those cards there.
30 or 40
card, any card.
Yes.
But I really do like the 2-pack, the 4-pack ideas because there's a number of ensembles that can be had to basically put together from the actual episode itself, make it a special edition.
Okay, I'm going to embarrass Ian some more because it was another great idea he had. He liked the idea of having the circles in the front, but what he wanted to do was he wanted to have the bottom one be the eagle as being like not a star of the show, but I just thought it was kind of cool that he did that because, like,
Mhm.
yeah, because he wanted to make it different. Even the background, the color of the planet in the background here was, supposed to be Ultima Thule. So he
Right.
made variations on the card. He wanted to keep the same basic lunar landscape, but then he wanted to kind of change it. And then, like I said, then I changed a little bit on the top and everything, the expedition. So a shout out to him. That was a brilliant idea, I thought.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Ian's the man.
Yeah, but see, I would never have thought of that. I would have tried to integrate maybe a snow scene behind it, but he did it in a much more subtle way to keep the brand, what do you call it, the brand look the same.
Right.
Just highlight that. So just a little subtle difference. So again, that's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
So one of my latest projects was to turn, and this is from me, just putting some stuff together.
Yeah.
Doing a year 2 version for the 4-pack, and then you could just play around with the graphics, maybe what Palitoy would have done with a year 2 setup or whatever, and then you can turn that into your 4-pack, which I have already. I've actually removed the Koenig and Russell and Carter and Tony. But really, you need to throw Maya in here. I think that would probably be more appropriate, I guess, for a year 2. Now that I finally got a few Mayas, or a couple of Mayas, I can do that.
But not to get much in the minutia, but I gave Gordon a really good idea. I thought, well, if you're not doing anything with the back of the card, why don't you put like a Moonbase Alpha hallway on the back of the card? So if anybody wanted to take them out of the shell and stand them up, it sounded like a toy idea. You can have almost like a diorama type thing.
Oh, and that's why I purchased for like $35, I purchased the Mattel Moonbase Alpha, just the vinyl fold-out piece of it, so you can get some photography effects and backgrounds for it.
So you can either flip it around inside the case and have them look standing in the hallway, or command center. Well, they said that, but even though it's obviously main mission, or you could have them out of the case and just standing on a shelf. It sounds like a toy business kind of idea. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you're not doing anything with the back of the card. Put it to some use.
Not at the moment, no. The sky's the limit. Like I said, there's all kinds of really cool ideas. But as Star Trek did with Mego did with the Aliens set, I wouldn't mind doing an Aliens series for the 99 as well. That'd be kind of cool.
I think so.
Might have a little bit of a problem doing the dragon or something like that, but whatever CTBT made for the aliens, like Baylor or Mentor or the companion or whatever, there's a number of ideas that can be thrown around.
I actually do have a solution for the Dragon's Domain alien. I was going through my fridge, and there's this incredibly old Tupperware of spaghetti. That is got quite nasty. I'm gonna send it to you, and then all hairy and stuff. So you can put that into the little slot for that monster. Trust me, it'll work great.
Don't do me any favors.
I got your back. It'll work splendidly.
I appreciate that.
It might smell a bit. Just put a little Lysol on it. You'll be fine.
I'll put some polyurethane or whatever varnish or something like that. Make it kind of encased.
That's funny, but it would be stinky.
Yeah, it would.
I saw on Marco's page where he made the remember I can't remember what the episode was, but they lost one of the eagles and then found it was a big rock, but it looks like silly putty all over it.
Right.
He made a few of those. Yeah, he made a few of those. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
He found Eagle 1.
He found Eagle 1, exactly, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I told him that's kind of cool.
Come on, 16 or Product Enterprises. Come on, show us your stuff. You do.
Yeah, there you go. The special Space Brain edition.
Top that.
All right, guys. Well, hey, I really do appreciate you inviting me to hang out with you two super cool dudes,
Yep.
But I got to run.
We've gone over an hour, so we're good.
Yeah, I'm good as well. Is there any questions from the audience who has stayed with us?
They say, wow, stunning, awesome. I mean, it's a lot of people are pretty happy with what you do.
Wait,
Sure, you'll be hearing from Franny.
Were they describing you, or were they describing the products?
Not me, the products.
But Dave, I'll definitely be in touch, and we'll definitely hash out some really good ideas and make some more prototypes. That's for sure. Some good customs.
And I'll just close with, I'm just humbled by people's satisfaction and their words of kindness.
Yeah, I have nothing but thankfulness for having you as my friend and getting together and doing this amazing project.
Yes,
Which turned out to be an awesome collection for both of us. So you've made my childhood dreams come true.
Iron, gentlemen. So with that, Todd, again, thank you for our time today.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Thanks for joining me.
Always a pleasure. God bless you all. Take care.
You guys.
Take care.
Okay, back to little old me again. Thanks, David. Thanks, Gordon. You guys really helped out a lot and showed off some really good items. And hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday. Don't forget, Christmas ornaments are ready. Let's jump on them and get rid of these 15 sets for me, so I can move on to either more of those or something else. We do have some things planned, but we have our money sunk in these right now. So and our next project, but we'll announce that after the first of the year. So with that said, I'll expect 15 emails for orders soon. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. It was fun. We've got some talented people in these groups, so I'm so glad that I got to share his talent with you. Some of you have already seen it, but now you remember it, and now you know. If you haven't seen it, now you know. This is a fun project. So I will bid you adieu, and everybody, I'll see you in a couple weeks. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.